Welcome to this videocast. This videocast covers the week 1 assignment. So let's get started. Click on assignments, and here we're going to find 10 sources. We will open the file, and we're going to start the first of our 3 major assignments, the annotated bibliography. Bibliography means a list of books or other sources that we might be interested in reading. Annotated simply means notes. And so the annotated bibliography that you guys are going to be creating in the next couple of weeks is just a list of interesting sources, and you'll write a few notes about each one. It's not a difficult assignment. You're going to find 10 articles that are directly interesting to you. They have to be nice, narrow, and interesting to you. I would like for them to be on different topics. Not all the same topic, just something that's interesting to you. So I'm looking to see if you have a breadth of interests. We are going to create an annotated bibliography next week, and we'll worry a little bit more about how to do that later. Right now, let me see if I can help you to find some of these sources. For instance, some of you are calling me or sending emails saying, well, I did a Google search and I didn't find a magazine or a journal. Well, let's talk about how to do that. Oh, I'll delete my journal findings from earlier. The way to find a magazine or a journal might be first to go to Google. I've had a little bit of trouble with one of my ears, some ringing and a little bit of thumping in my ears, and so somebody told me that that might be tinnitus. Well, I don't know a lot about it, tinnitus. Maybe that can be some of my sources for this 10-source annotated bibliography. And so I see here lots of websites. Wikipedia may be less reliable. Don't know who the American Tinnitus Association is, but that might be an interesting website to look at. I might be able to use it for my whole website if it's not too long, because I do have to read the whole website, so if it's too big, I don't want to do that. Mayo Clinic, I won't read the whole Mayo Clinic website, but I can use this for my short article from a website. Let's just click on that really quickly. And here are some of the basics of information about tinnitus. And so I could certainly cite that. In fact, I think I will. What I'll do is I'll copy that web link, and I'll scroll down here to a short work or a part of a website. And I'll come back to that later, and I'll print it when my printer is available. So you can see I'm already chugging right along here. But I still don't have a magazine. Well, what can I do about that? Well, one of the things that I can do is go to the content module in Miles Arca and scroll down the page a bit and go to the Paul Weaver Library Database link. There will be a list of databases. Anything that you can access from home, I've highlighted in yellow, and I'm posting an updated version of that. I don't believe, if you've already downloaded it, it probably doesn't have any yellow highlighting on it. I did that to make it easier for you to find. I think I'll use ProQuest for this. So I'm going to control click on that ProQuest link, and then I'll get an error screen. So I'll go down here to where it says login form. I'll click on that. Now I've already logged in, and so I don't have a login screen here, but you'll get a little login, and it will ask for a username. Here's your username, and here's your password, and you'll just log right in. And so I'm going to do a basic search for tinnitus, and I'll look in multiple databases. When I do that, I will see several links, and you might notice that I can organize them. Here are the scholarly journals, so I can click on that tab and just the journals will pop up. Now you might notice that some of the wording in these journal titles is a little hard to read. The difference between a journal and a magazine, both of which are published every month or a couple of months, is that a journal is usually written by people who have advanced degrees in a particular field, and the journals have titles that sound like you have to have a degree to understand what's in the journal. Nevertheless, As you advance in your college training, you will discover that you're able to read some of these journals depending on what your field of study is. And looking through these, I think to myself, you know, this looks interesting. Comparison of auditory electrophysiological responses in normal hearing patients with and without tinnitus. I'd be interested in reading that. So I'd click on it. And when it pops up, I'll take a look at my information. There's an abstract or a summary of what the article is about. And here's my indexing information. So I can take this web address right here. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to paste that into my, let's see, this is an article from a database. So I could post it either here or I could post it up here under journal, print, or online. I could also go to the library and look at some of the print journals that they have, or I could just get a couple of journals from a database. I can also use some of the magazines from the ProQuest database. Let's go back up here. We'll hit the back button and we'll take a look at these magazines. There's some newspapers, there's some dissertations, those were written by PhD candidates. Look here at the magazines. Tuning Out Tinnitus. That looks interesting. Oh, here's something. Weird Symptoms Explained. That sounds like something I can probably read. It's, you know, a regular average person's reading level. That looks interesting to me. I think I'm going to mark that. So I'm going to copy this web link right here. I could even copy all of this information, and I can use that information to help me to create my annotated bibliography entry later. I could do that or not. And then right here, I'm going to paste that under magazine. So you guys can see that this is not a difficult assignment. It won't take you very long to finish it up. The entire website, all you have to do is find a link at a website, or find a website that's small enough that you can read the whole thing. The short work or part of a website, this is what you're most familiar with, but I wanted you to be sure and notice that the way that those two are cited is different. And when we talk about actually creating the citations, we'll address that a little bit more. So just find your 10 sources from wherever you like. Post those links here. Won't take long. It'll be just as easy as it can be. Any online discussion board can be Miles Arca, or you can do a search. There's a discussion board that I look at from time to time. It's a chainsaw discussion board, and people talk about chainsaws, and it's really, really interesting. So whatever your interests are, there's probably a discussion board of people who have that same interest. So go find it. Chart or picture, you'll run across some charts and pictures somewhere on the web. So post a link to it, and we'll talk later about how to create the citation for that. I don't think you'll have any trouble with this assignment. But I do remember one person asking me about the newspaper. They said that they followed this link and they weren't sure what to do after that. So let's take a look. You can look at a national newspaper if you want to. Any of these would be just fine. Maybe you like Fox News, and that is a newspaper. They produce the news, and so, well, actually, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure Fox News has a newspaper or not. Let's go back. We'll use that for a short article from a website. The Chicago Tribune. I know they produce actual news, a hard copy newspaper. And so here's some of their top breaking stories. You can just find anything that's interesting to you. So that pretty much covers the directions for how to find your 10 sources. And this is the beginning of the annotated bibliography assignment that's going to be due in about a week and a half. If you have any questions, be sure and post them in the discussion board, and I'll be creating another video to show you exactly how to do that.